Hi. Hello, everyone. We are getting my just some icing ready because I'm excited for tonight. We are doing, oh my gosh, I feel like I haven't talked much today. So hi everyone, Lolly here. Don't mind me. I'm just finishing getting my icing, just finished mixing up. Hold on. Let me get a couple paper towels over it. The house is like oddly quiet, and I'm just now in my happy place in my studio doing some cookies. Hi everyone. Welcome, welcome. So nice to see you all of you old and new. I shouldn't say old, I should say, well, everyone. I know we're gonna have new people in here tonight, so let me know where you're watching from. Hi. Hello. Let me know where you're watching from. And yeah, to all my, yeah, some of you all, there's so many of you who have been here with lollies for like so long. This month is pretty special to me because this month of June is when we launched Cookie Camp. Anyway, I can't believe it's been years now. Okay, I have some fresh icing here because we're gonna go over icing consistency. Like, I'm gonna make it totally uncomplicated for you. Well, I'm gonna attempt to make it uncomplicated, and usually it goes over pretty well. So, all right, yay! So excited to see you all. Oh my gosh, I missed you. We've been doing a little bit of traveling. We're in summer mode now, like totally in summer mode. Anyway, so I've got some fun stuff planned for tonight. You can see my prize wheel behind me. We're gonna spin the wheel tonight. Hopefully y'all are ready for that. Kansas, Louisiana. Oh, I love you guys are all over. So awesome. Do we have anybody international watching right now? Anybody international? Got a lot of Midwesterners, some Chi-towners. Love it. I miss Chicago. Maybe I miss mostly the food. I'm such a foodie, and I miss the food in Chicago so bad. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We have the prize wheel tonight. So if you want to get in on that, go to lollysgiveaway.com, LOLLYS giveaway.com. We'll make sure it's in the comments. And enter your name one time. Okay, you don't need to enter it multiple. Enter it one time. You're going to be entered to win one of our prizes. We're going to spin the wheel a bunch of times. I've got some fun stuff. We have, I've got my other scribes in finally. More of my other scribes. We have custom made lolly scribes. I've got our classic black and white. It's got silver and a bow and everything, made by my friend over at Happy Sweets and Treats. And we've got our pink one. So if you win that, you get to choose. We've got our lollies towel. We've got more aprons, giving away some aprons tonight, and some recipes. Oh, and sprinkle spatulas. Hello. Like sprinkle spatulas. I've got big, I personally have some big ones now, but can you see, well, this has got icing on it, but this is like a big one. Love them. They make it so easy to make stuff up. So get your name in, go to lollysgiveaway.com, get your name in. So can we all start by sharing, how do you really feel tonight? Okay. I'm in summer mode, and I'll start. I'm going to be completely, I'm always pretty transparent with you guys. I feel, oh man, I felt like pretty anxious today. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, because we've been in like summer mode, but I'm in my happy place now, like in my cookie kitchen studio where I get to put my hands to like icing and cookies, and like even just like cleaning up in my area just helps me take a deep breath. So I'm feeling really good, honestly feeling really good, but I get it. Sometimes, here's the thing is I think it's really important to be honest about how we really feel. And then we can like acknowledge it and move on and get to being happy. So put an emoji in the comments. I see a lot of happy people and positivity. So I'm so grateful for that. But I had to be honest about how I'm feeling today. I want you to drop in the comments, okay, how do you really feel tonight? And I'm just so grateful that you're here. This is such we have an amazing Lollies community here. So welcome if you are new and just joining us. And welcome if you've been with Lollies for longer. I mentioned at the very beginning that this month is super special. June is when I originally, Lollies really started, when I shared Cookie Camp with the world. Raise your hand if you have taken Cookie Camp. If you are one of our Cookie Camp students, will you raise your hand? Let me know. I've taught over 50,000 cookiers how to do the basics and learn like swirl icing and how to bake and decorate cookies like a pro. And so it's crazy that we get to celebrate it this month, and we are going to be celebrating. So keep an eye on all your messages and everything. We're going to be announcing some really fun stuff for this month. Tonight, though, I want to teach you. I want to help you with royal icing consistency, because that was the biggest thing that I was afraid of to start. And I remember when I tried it the first time, it was a huge fail. Like my sister-in-law, Mr. Lolly's sister, her name is Taryn, and she still does cakes and stuff too. She does cookies now as well. But she did cakes, and I was talking to her once about baking and cooking, and she's like, yeah, royal icing, it's really easy. You just do this and this and this. And I was like, no, it's never been easy for me. Anyway, I did what she said, and I tried it, and I failed again. Not because of her recipe or anything, but there is a little bit of a learning curve with it, I think. And the cool thing, though, is it took out the intimidation away once I really just tried it. And then it was a matter of kind of practicing and just getting used to it. And so I want to help you take away any other intimidation that you might have with royal icing, and share with you some easy ways to get the right consistency that you're looking for. Usually if you're having trouble with royal icing, it's either you're probably going way too thick or you're probably going way too thin, and it's hard to get some of those in between ones. Anyway, I don't want to get too technical right now, because we're going to do a giveaway to start off. Happy and blessed. Oh, some of you have cookies in the oven. I love it. Yay. Those of you who can't seem to get the right consistency, that is what I'm going to help you with tonight. And I'm just looking here. Okay. Yay, all you cookie campers. Okay. Those of you who have not taken Cookie Camp yet, it's the original real deal when it comes to cookies. So make sure you take advantage of that. We are going to go ahead and do one of our giveaways. I don't have my trusty Nora helper tonight. It's kind of weird, actually. That's why it was at the very beginning of this. I was like, wow, there's like this odd silence in the house because the kids are out of the house. And it's, not going to lie, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. It's quiet, and I get to focus on this tonight. Okay. So if you guys can see, this is okay. We got towel. We have mystery bag. This is a mystery bag of cookie cutters, because I have so many cutters, and I want to give some of my cutters away. So we have a mystery bag of cutters, Apron, Scribe, recipe of your choice. So I'm going to spin the wheel to know what we are giving away, and then we will get a random name drawn. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. We're spinning the wheel. Yay, yay, yay. Oh, it's in between. Hold on. We're going to do it again. I should have filled up both. Okay. Scribe. Okay, we're giving away Scribe. You can choose between my signature pink, we call it the pink sparkle Scribe, or the Lollies Classic black and white. Okay. And anybody who wins tonight, if you win, your name is called, then just make sure that you message us to claim your prize and to choose, the style, and so that we can send that out to you. If you win, make sure you message service@lollieshomekitchen.com so that we can get it out to you. And where did over here. Okay, hold on. So we are doing Team Lollies is getting a random drawing from all of you people who have entered. Okay. Winner 1, Deb Murphy. Deb Murphy. I've seen you in our groups, Deb. Oh my gosh, so amazing. Congratulations. You've won one of our Lolly Scribes. Love kicking it off that way. Okay, we have a little bit more celebrating to do. If you can follow along tonight too. Like if you don't have a batch of icing or anything yet, like you have a couple minutes to mix one up if you want to follow along with me tonight. We're going to celebrate because we have some contest winners. So in the Lollyverse, Cookie Town, whatever you want to call it, we have this amazing thing called Royal Kitchen Crew. And inside the Royal Kitchen Crew, we run a monthly contest for all of our members where they get to show off all of their amazing work. And we have winners that win some amazing prizes. This month, we have an entire Nifty 50 set of the AmeriColor gel colors. So like all of the gel colors that I use, the Nifty 50 set, you get the entire 50 in the whole set. So that is something that we're giving away. We are doing a sprinkle spatula mega bundle. So the winner of that, we get a bunch of our small ones and large ones and like a mega bundle of our sprinkle spatula. They're so popular. And also, a cookie cutter bundle. So shout out to our cookie cutter partner, Sweetly, who is providing that for this month as well. So cookie cutter bundle, your choice from Sweetly, our cookie cutter partner. All right. Are you guys ready for the winners? Are you ready for it? Okay. Yay. All right. Our first winner, Valerie Roth. Valerie Roth, you are one of our contest winners, our RKC contest winners. These are winners for May. So sorry, I should have said that. We're celebrating our May winners who it goes through the end of the month and then we announce our winners. Valerie Roth, Monica Wang Smith. Yay, congratulations, Monica. You are our second winner, and our top winner who just had really incredible craftsmanship and exquisite cookies. Joyce Easterman. Joyce, you are our top winner for our RKC contest for May. Congratulations. All of our top winners are entered into our grand prize, which is a custom cookie retreat weekend coming to Cookie with Me. And I'm so excited because we have last year's winner coming. And we have some things that we'll announce with that, but I'm super excited to do a private session with our winner. So congratulations to all of our May winners. Thank you so much for participating. Okay. Let's see. We are going to go ahead and dive into some icing. All right. You guys ready for this? All right. I see. I'm going to answer just a couple questions before we dive in. Okay, no, I see that got answered. If you have questions about our Royal Kitchen Crew, the monthly contest, you do have to be a member of our Royal Kitchen Crew. And there's a couple of options to join that. We will be opening doors again very soon. So I'm excited about that. And I saw another question. Maybe it was about icing, which we are going to get into, and I will probably answer questions that you have about that. Okay. Okay. All right, just making sure, get my notes. So what I want to start with, can you all just real quick in the comments? So this is going to help me just include the best information in the time that we have tonight for icing. Can you just list for me, like, what is your biggest struggle with the royal icing and consistency? Like, is there something specific? Is it like the flood consistency, or it's getting a thick flood? Is it you know, getting it onto the cookie? What is like your biggest struggle when it comes to royal icing consistency? I really want to include as much helpful information as I can tonight. And so I want to customize it for you. Okay, thick flood. Sometimes it gets too thin. Writing consistency, humidity, and where'd it go? Humidity and heat heat cling consistency, florals and lettering. Okay, okay. So consistency for a lot of florals and lettering, I'm seeing that. Basically getting it thick enough for the thing that you want, making sure it's not too thin. Okay. And writing consistency. All right, we can do that. We can do that. All right, you all ready? Hey, I'm gonna grab my icing and we're gonna start with something I like to call, this is something I created and has been really helpful for so many of our cookiers. I can show a different view. This is something that if you don't have already, you can grab either inside our group. I think Allison, who is on tonight, she can just make sure that you guys are directed to this. It's our Royal Icing Consistency Cheat Sheet. This is based off 1/2 of a cup of fresh icing, okay? This is a chart that's going to show you exactly how much water to add to get to a specific consistency. Now, this was designed with, I would say, maybe more of a logistical mind in mind, right? Because I realize it's hard to feel what the right consistency is if you haven't had experience or practice. And so this is a measurement, like a real measurement that you can use. However, because when you mix up your batch, there can be a little variation in how thick or thickest you mix this. Like it can vary a little, okay? So just keep that in mind. Some of you may already have this guide. So this is your reminder to bring it out if you're struggling with consistency, and maybe practice with a batch on a clean slate and literally measure it out to get a feel for it again. And wouldn't you know it, my teaspoon, a lot of times I go by drops. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go with, okay, so I am going to be using teaspoon measurements. So let me go ahead, change our view here so you can see. Okay. And those of you who are just joining us, make sure that you enter your name at lollysgiveaway.com. I will be doing another few spins of the prize wheel here. So you have a chance to win something tonight. And let's go ahead and start. I've got a 1/2 cup measure here. So I'm going to grab my thick icing, okay? And here, so that I can show you like how thick this is, okay? This is what it's acting like. This is what it looks like. So it definitely, stiff peaks, but it's still kind of, I would say, like a little dense, right? It's stiff peaks, but it's not, it doesn't feel like so fluffy full of air. If you get it, if you mix it where it's like so fluffy full of air, like that's probably starting to get overmixed. And don't be afraid to overmix. Like it's not gonna, you can still eat the cookies. Like they're still edible, and most people can't tell if it's overmixed, like if they're enjoying one of your cookies. So I wouldn't be too afraid of that. In fact, I probably spent a good long while to start, when I started doing cookies, I probably spent a good long while overmixing my icing and I didn't realize it. But it was okay. Like cookies were great. They're still edible. They looked amazing. They tasted awesome. Okay. So I'm going to measure out a 1/2 cup, and I'm just going to put the chart here so y'all can see it too. Here we go. So, and if you're one of those people that you're like, oh, I don't love to be exact, I don't need to measure it, that's fine. Just like eyeball a 1/2 cup. But I'm going to be exact tonight to show you, okay? So there's a 1/2 cup. I'm going to cover my icing again. All right. And then basically what I'm going to do is go from this consistency, and I'm going to thin it out little by little to show you what a good detail consistency is, a good writing consistency, all the way down to a good thick flood, a regular flood, so that you can see what that looks like, okay? Now, here's what I'm going to do in order to like have enough volume in here to show you, so you can get a really good feel like on the screen of what this is. I'm going to double it. Okay. So this is going to be a full cup inside this bowl. And just like any recipe, you just double the amount of water that we're going to put into. Okay. So I've got a cup. All right. Now I happen to have, let's see. Okay, good question that is coming in. How long do you typically mix royal icing to achieve stiff peaks? It depends on your mixer, and it depends on your speed that you're mixing at. And my KitchenAid right here, I put it on low when I'm mixing in the meringue powder. And then after I put the powdered sugar in, then I turn it up to between 5 and 6, so like 5.5. And that will typically go for 3 to 5 minutes. And then at the very end, I bump it up to 6. A lower speed will mix it up well with less air in it. So that depends. I mean, if you're mixing it like a 3 or 4, it's going to take longer. Okay. So I always kind of just mix it after I put it in the bowl. This right here is detail consistency. Okay, this I would be considered. If you're going to do florals, you're going to add powdered sugar. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to keep this with the full cup in here, but if you were doing florals, like thick florals, you're going to take, and I don't have an exact measurement for this, you're going to take a little bit of powdered sugar and add it to your icing, okay? So that was probably a couple of teaspoons. Okay, because you do have to get some pretty thick icing if you're doing like ornate detailed petals on florals or something like that. You do want it real stiff. Okay, so this, now powdered sugar, you can see how much I have in here. It's probably a 1/3 of a cup, and I added a couple tablespoons of powdered sugar. I wouldn't add any more than that because yes, more powdered sugar can make your icing harder. And note, please know, adding powdered sugar does not reconstitute your icing if it gets too thin or if it starts to separate. Okay, so like highlight that, take a note, highlight that. Powdered sugar does not reconstitute. It completely changes the makeup of your icing if you do that. Okay, so this would be floral consistency, like super thick detail. Okay, I'm gonna just set that aside because we're not gonna need that again. I'm gonna go back to this bowl. Okay, you guys, I want to give something away. Can we do that? Oh, I'm gonna take a deep breath, and we're gonna do a giveaway. Okay, ready? If you haven't yet, make sure you enter your name at lollysgiveaway.com. We're gonna spin the wheel to see what we're winning. That was a weak spin. Sprinkle spatula. Okay, one of my favorites. All right, we're giving away a sprinkle spatula. And all right, the winner is, it's coming through. Drum roll, everybody. We've got Michelle Clark. Yay, congratulations, Michelle. Congratulations, you've won a sprinkle spatula from Lolly's. So make sure that you message service@lollyshomekitchen.com or DM us on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and or YouTube if you're watching from YouTube, and we will get that out to you. All right, don't worry, I've got more stuff to give away, okay? In fact, I think what we'll do, since we already gave away Scribe, and we already gave away a spatula, I want to give away one of everything tonight, okay? So that's 4 more. We've got 4 more prizes to give away. Okay, back to our icing. Okay, how about if something has like stuck with you already, if you've learned something, can you comment gem or like put a picture, put like an emoji of a diamond in there? I love sharing gems and I love it when you guys pick up something new or something that helps you. So yeah, comment if you've learned something new already, comment gem or put a gem and share what it is that you've learned in the comments, because that's going to help maybe somebody else, especially maybe somebody who might be watching the replay. But I love it when we can help each other out too. This, all right, this again is straight. Whoops, hold on, sorry. Let me make sure y'all can see. There we go. All right, this right here is straight from the bowl. And according to our chart, thick detail. Okay, the chart I have, you actually can add, if you have a half a cup of icing, you can add up to about a tablespoon of icing for that thick detail, like floral consistency, okay? For regular, for a detail, here's the thing. My brain always goes in like, oh, there's different levels of things, right? And there is. And so sometimes it can be hard to simplify. There's 3 basic consistencies, right? But there's different levels within those consistencies. There's different levels of a flood. There's different levels of a piping consistency. There's different levels of like a thicker detail. Straight out of the mixer, this is a nice detail consistency. However, you'll notice that it might not be quite as sticky, right? If it's not sticky, it will have a hard time sticking to whatever you're putting it on, okay? If you have a dry flood, it's going to have a hard time sticking to that once it dries. So do yourself a favor. You can maintain the stiffness even if you add a little bit of water. That'll give it some stickiness and it will still stick to your thing underneath, okay? So a half a teaspoon. Actually, I've doubled what's in the bowl. So a teaspoon of water, okay? And this is going to be a nice regular detail consistency. This consistency is also, see, it's going to keep its shape really well, but it's sticky. It's a lot stickier than it was just out of the mixer. This is also a really good consistency for some lettering. So lettering, it depends on the style of lettering that you're doing. If you're pressure piping lettering, this is too thick. If you are lining and flooding lettering, like if you're outlining and flooding, this is also too thick. If you're doing like a single line lettering, this is great. Okay. All right, so I see some questions coming in. I will answer those. I'm going to show you the next consistency, and then I can answer your questions. Outline. So outline, I'm going to add a teaspoon total to what would have been a half a cup, which means a teaspoon total, right? So I already added the half teaspoon. Now I'm going to add that same amount, but since I've doubled this, just so you know, like what I have in the bowl is double this. It's a cup of icing. So I'm going to add another teaspoon to get a nice outline consistency. Outline consistency, you want it to blend in with your flood once you flood. And so you don't want it like super thick out of the bowl. It's going to be, it's going to fold over, right? So let me get my hand out of the way there. So like when it drops, it's going to be, I guess, real soft peaks. And it's going to fold over on itself, right? But it won't settle out. Okay, so it's going to be real nice and sticky. And this is great for outlining your cookie, outlining your sections before you flood them. Okay. All right, any questions on these consistencies so far? I do call it an outline consistency because that's mostly what I use it for. Some people might call it a regular piping consistency. It's just that this consistency that's real nice and sticky, soft peaks. Okay. All right. Great questions coming in. Do you ever use tips for lettering like cursive? Yes, I do. So Louise, hi Louise. So yes, in fact, one of my favorite ones is like a number 2 tip. I have a PME number 2. I love that one for single line, like lettering or piping. It's really nice. And then with a tip, it keeps it even, which I like. I don't do it all the time, but you know, depending on the design, then I will use a tip. All right. How much powdered sugar did you add to the 3/4 cup of thick icing? So I don't have 3/4 cup of icing. This was a full cup. So the chart calls for half a cup, but I wanted to have enough in the bowl so you could see. So this is a cup, but how much sugar? Oh, sorry. You're talking about, I'm so sorry. You're talking about the super thick detail. I added, so when I did this one, I have about 1/3 of a cup in the bowl. I added 2.5 teaspoons of powdered sugar. If you have a half a cup of icing straight out of the mixer bowl, you can add about up to a tablespoon and still be okay. It's going to be real nice and thick for like florals. A super thick icing, everyone, is not great for lettering. There's not much lettering I've never used a like floral consistency for any lettering ever. It really would end up being too dry and brittle. It wouldn't stick, like the lettering just wouldn't stick to whatever you have it on. All right. Somebody was asking about humidity, or maybe that was an issue. Yes, I think that's what it was. So let me talk about that for a second. Humidity can be a headache. This is a hygrometer. Okay. So right now, looks like it's 72 degrees. Is that what it is? Yeah, 72 degrees outside, 41. I've got 41% humidity, which is great. You want anywhere between 35 and 65%, I believe. Maybe it's 35 and, I mean, between 40 and 60%, you can get away with 35 to 65% humidity and have your cookies dry really well. They can dry with a sheen on them if you have a fan with air circulation. Anything below 30, 35 is getting real dry and things will dry really fast. Anything higher than 65, it's going to take longer to dry. You're going to have more of that moisture seeping into your icing and your cookies and stuff. So any other specific questions about humidity when it comes to your icing? But I would suggest you have a hygrometer. I've got some linked in my Amazon shop. This one specifically, and then there's some others. You can get like a little tiny one that just displays the humidity and not the other information. Yeah. Okay. Okay, hold on here. I added the extra tablespoon of meringue powder you suggested, but with the humidity in Florida, it still won't stay stiff enough. I also added powdered sugar, but made it a hard bite. Yes, that's what will happen. More meringue powder. Okay, more meringue powder. If you're experiencing humidity issues, more meringue powder, I would go like a tablespoon at a time. So if you're still experiencing that it won't stiffen up, then add 1 more tablespoon of meringue powder. And here's the thing is I don't know what brand you're using. So that's Americolor. If you're still having trouble with that, you're going to want to move to Jeannie's Dream. Jeannie's Dream. Hold on a second. Jeannie's Dream meringue powder is a really great one as well. Americolor is great, but Jeannie's Dream will get pretty, like I've noticed Jeannie's Dream will get a lot thicker than the Americolor will. But it has a different density feel to it as well. I've noticed once it's mixed up, but you might just want to shift your brand of meringue powder that you're using, and that could help too. Okay. I know I missed some other questions here. All right, is this, I think we're going back to this outline consistency that we just mixed up. Is this the same as I would use for writing? Yes, so this is a nice mid-level consistency. This would be great for writing because it's real nice and sticky. It's still going to hold some of its shape. This would be a good pressure piping writing consistency, right? Where you're using the pressure of your hand to make the letters thick or thin. You could even go a little thinner than this if you're pressure piping lettering. If you are like outlining letters and then flooding sections of them in, then this would be a good consistency to outline them before you flood them in. But yeah, this would be good. Something really kind of a trick to know about lettering is you can have various consistencies, like a medium level consistency like this, or even a little thinner, can be used for various styles of writing. So I think what happens sometimes, and I've seen this, and I've had these questions where a lot of cookieres will get scared that, oh no, what's the exact right consistency for lettering? There's not any one exact consistency for lettering. Like it depends on the style that you're doing, and it depends on like how fast your cookies are going to dry. If you're going to dry them in a, not a humidifier, what's it called? Dehydrator. If you're going to dry them in a dehydrator, you can get away with like a little bit thinner consistency because it's going to evaporate. It's going to dry faster and the air will evaporate faster. So don't get hung up on that fact that your lettering has to be the exact right consistency, right? There's a little bit of buffer, but it does need to be mid-level, like outline, thick flood level. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, Paula, question about the Genie's Dream. Do you use the bag recipe? Yes. Yeah, so if I always use, if I'm not using Americolor, my royal icing recipe is formulated for Americolor. You can use Genie's Dream, it's gonna end up real thick. So I would start with the Genie's Dream recipe, and then you can kind of adjust from there based off your preference. Okay. Is this good for everybody? Y'all ready for me to continue? Don't forget to throw up a gem and what you're learning along the way, because it's going to help it stick for you when you write that out or you share that, and then it's going to help other people too. So really cool. All right. If you've asked a different question, we have a lot of comments coming in. So if you've asked a question and you really need it answered and I have not answered it, please post it again. I'm going to go ahead and continue and show what a thick flood is like. Okay, so to get a thick flood, you're going to add another ½ teaspoon. All right. So again, the measurements in the middle are amount of water total. Okay, not in addition to what was above. Okay, so I need another ½ teaspoon because I've doubled what I have in the bowl. It's going to be double that for me. So another 2 scoops of water for me. Oh, this is so nice. All right. This, my dears, is a thick flood, right? Falls over on itself, starts to like act like it's going to settle out, but it's not going to settle out on its own. It's going to need some help, okay? So if you are doing cookies, how many of you sell your cookies where you do like orders or big orders where you're flooding a lot of cookies at the same time? And do we have anybody that does that? Well, if you do, or you like to like flood a whole tray or two or whatever of cookies at a time, don't go with this. This consistency is too thick for that. This requires you having to stop after every 1 to 3 cookies to use your scribe and to settle them out. Okay. This will give you a puffier look, but it does take more time to help settle out. When we get to the flat flood, that's going to be for those of you who like to do an assembly line and like flood and flood and forget, I usually call it. I like to flood it and forget it and move on, right? Flood it, it's going to settle out on its own and we move on. We're not quite there yet, all right? This is the thick flood. And it's crazy how even measured icing and measured water is going to get you to the right consistency. All right. There we go, Leah. 100 or more at a time. There we go. If you've not tried using a thick flood to like really flood a cookie and do details on, you get such a nice lofty puff with this. And once it dries, it just has such an awesome look to it. Okay, let's add some more. We're going to get to a flat flood, and it's another 1/2 teaspoon, okay? But I'm going to double it because I've got double in the bowl. So basically, total for 1/2 cup to get to a flat flood, it's a full 2 teaspoons of water. And then we'll go ahead and, whoop, I'm sloshing all over the place here. So flat flood, I'm surprised I haven't had questions about flat flood. I call it a flat flood because it'll settle out on its own, nice and flat, which is great for airbrushing on top of, for instance. It's great for watercoloring on top of, for instance. A nice flat flood, it means it's going to settle out on its own and dry real flat. Like, I mean, look at my hand gesture. That's what, down here, it's going to dry flat. Okay, don't mind me. All right, I think it's time for a giveaway. All right, so y'all keep looking at this nice flat flood, okay? I'm going to go ahead and, hold on, we're going to switch. There we go. We're going to switch here. You all ready for another giveaway? Yay! Make sure you're entered at lollysgiveaway.com. I'm going to spin the wheel. Let's see. What are we going to give away with this one? Apron. Nope, missing it. Okay, hold on. Ooh, we got it. Mystery bag of cutters. Okay. Mystery bag of cutters. Don't worry. It's really good. Like, it's a good one. It's good cutters. Mystery bag of cutters is what we are giving away right now. Drum roll, please. All right. We do these, the drawing. It is a random drawing for those of you who have entered in there. I've almost got it. We're still doing the random pick here. Okay. Bag of cutters winner is Connie Cecil or Cecil. I apologize if I'm saying your last name wrong. Connie, congratulations. You are one of our winners tonight. Okay. We have a couple other things to give away. We've got Apron. I've got 3 more. Apron, recipe of your choice, and a Lolly's towel. We're going to do one more right now. How about that? You all okay with that? Okay. Those of you, if you've not entered the drawing yet, remember, just enter your name one time. lollysgiveaway.com. If you've not entered yet, go there right now and put your name in. I'm going to do one more giveaway right now, and then we will have 2 more before we finish tonight, okay? We're doing this. Okay. All right, this might take a while to land on something, though. All right, if it lands on the color, something either right next to it, we're going to call it good. Oh, it ended up a recipe. Okay. Our winner for this recipe, you get to choose whichever recipe you want from the Lolly's recipe shop. Okay. Yay. All right, drum roll. Almost there. Connie was our last one. Okay. Hold on here. All right, recipe of your choice, Janice Bird. Janice, congratulations, everybody. Wish her congratulations. You are one of our winners tonight. And just a reminder, if you've won, make sure that you message us, either DM us or you can email us so that we can get your prize out to you. I just want to thank you all for being here. I love talking cookies and icing with you all, so you're making my day tonight. All right, let's get back to our icing. I want to talk a little bit more about our flood. I'm going to take you to another level of flood. Hold on. We did. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys. Hold on. We got to thick flood. And we got to, hold on. We're doing flat flood. This is what happens when I take breaks in between. Okay. So we were talking about flat flood, right? Now, there's even a few different levels of flat flood because this will take some time on its own to settle out. But sometimes it can take longer. If you want it to settle out even faster, you can add even a few more drops of water to this to get even a slightly thinner flood. I wouldn't go thinner than what can be called as a 15-second flood, right? So if you count the number of seconds it takes for this to settle out on its own, this is going to be more like a 60-second flood. Like it's going to take about a minute for it to get real nice and flat. If you added another, I'm going to add a half a teaspoon, which according to this chart would have been another quarter teaspoon. Then it's going to turn it into probably about a 30-second flood. So it's still going to be a flat flood. It will settle even faster. Just keep in mind, when you're at this flood stage and you continue to add water, you start to affect the integrity of the icing itself, right? So if you continue to add more water, it's starting to spread out all of the substance, the meringue powder and the powdered sugar and the substance that holds the icing together after the moisture dries. Okay, so that's why cratering happens. That's why sometimes your icing can look translucent. Sometimes you'll get color bleed happening, even in really thin flood, because there's just not as much of the structure of the icing to hold it all together after the moisture evaporates when it's dry. So keep that in mind as you are adding water. Like this is, like if this were me and I were using this to flood, I wouldn't go thinner than this. Yeah, like this would be like the thinnest flood that I usually ever do. What consistency seconds do you suggest for dipping? Louise, that is a great question. Dipping, I have had the most success with this thin. So dipping a flat flood consistency. So like the thinner actually ends up working better. So Terry, great question. What makes your icing so brittle? Overmixing your icing can make it brittle. And icing that's too thin can make it brittle. Brittle in the sense of like brittle because you can puncture holes in it. Anyway, it's hard to explain, but yes, brittle would be the word for it. Awesome. Keep sharing those gems. Let's see. Question, Paula. So are you adding to the water that's already in the bowl? Yes. So this chart is total amount of water to achieve this consistency. And since I've already added water to the bowl, I'm just adding additional to make the total amount what it says here. Like you can go straight to, I want a flat flood. Well, you would just go ahead and add a whole 2 tablespoons. You don't have to do the stages like I'm showing you here. This is for illustration purposes. All right, great questions coming in. And great gems being shared. I love it. Keep sharing those. Tips for making royal icing ahead of time and how much thicker would you make it to allow for thinning? Such a great question, Carol. And my answer to that, to 2 questions here. Yes, here's the thing is I'm a big proponent of measuring your ice or making your icing and doing your colors as close to when you decorate your cookies as possible. But there are some ways that you can mix your icing ahead of time. I would refrigerate it. So if you're going to mix it up ahead of time, you're going to mix your colors, keep it refrigerated until right before you use it, where it would barely come back to room temperature. You are going to experience a little bit of separation or thinning. Separation really, which kind of thins out your icing. Heat from your hand can do that, but if it sits for a little bit, like this thin of a flood, if I bag it up and it sits even for like 20 minutes, you're going to start to see it separate. That's normal, right? That's normal. But like you mentioned, how much thicker could I mix it if I were going to do this like a day in advance? I would mix it one step thicker. So if I wanted this flat of a flood, I would mix it up to a thick flood. So then by the time I took it out and used it the next day, then you would need to probably massage the bag. If it thinned out a lot, you're going to need to put it in a bowl and rebag it. But I would mix it up one step thicker. Okay. What would you call the initial icing consistency before thinning? Oh, yes. My toothpaste, honey and yogurt analogy. Okay. So that is another way. If you've taken any of my classes, then you've probably heard me talk about honey consistency, yogurt, Greek yogurt consistency, all of that. Before you start thinning it out, if you were talking out of the mixer, here, let's just take a look. Let's get another bowl. Let's see. Okay. So if you were to do this would be like, to me, a toothpaste consistency. It comes out of the bowl like a thick, that kind of a little bit gritty toothpaste consistency. And then the more water you put in it, right, as you go to the regular detail and outline consistency, I would consider like a yogurt, right? You can have it a little thicker like Greek yogurt, or you can have it like a regular yogurt would be an outline. And then as you get to your floods, a thick flood would be like, a really thick flood would be like cold honey or room temperature honey or warm honey, right? And the thinner your floods go. All right. Great questions. We're going to do one more giveaway. I'm going to answer some more questions. And then, oh, there we go. All right. Let's see. We did our recipe. We got 2 more to give away. If it lands close, we're going to call it. Got a lot of empty spots. Apron. You get to wear one of the Lolly's aprons. I know you guys have been asking for these. You guys, we just got a shipment of these in actually. And so keep an eye out for these coming soon to a Lolly shop near you. So excited about it. But okay, not to deter from the fact that whoever our winner is, then you get this Lolly's apron, not mine exactly. You get one just like it. I love my aprons. And my family knows, like, if mom's in her black Lolly's apron, she's doing like class cookies, or she's like in her cookie kitchen. I have aprons that I wear just when I make dinner for my family. Just, it kind of depends on my mood. Anyway, I could talk all day about aprons too, y'all. Louise Williamson, congratulations. You are our winner of our apron giveaway. Congrats, Louise. And Louise, I just want to thank you for being part of our Lolly's community for so long. Like, thinking about this month of June and celebrating Cookie Camp that I launched 4 years ago, like, so many of you have been with Lolly's even since then, or, and have found us in the past couple of years. And I'm just so grateful for you. You are the people that have made this Lolly's community what it is. And it is a shining light in this baker world. And it's such a positive place to be, which is more of what we need online. So thank you so much for being part of our Lolly's community. Okay. I want to answer the questions that came in, and then Oh, awesome, Leah. Yep, June 2020. Yay. You are one of our OGs. Been here a long time. Okay, so speaking of, I do have to tell you. So we have some fun things happening this month. I have a special gift for those of you who have just supported Lollies and been with Lollies for so long. I just want to show some appreciation. So keep an eye out on your emails and your messages and your notifications from Lollies about that specifically. Also, we have a special event happening this month too. It's called Cookie Camp Jamboree, and we will be sharing more about that. It's going to be a live event that is happening towards the end of the month, but lots of fun things leading up to that and celebration of Cookie Camp in the month of June. So keep an eye out on your messages for that. And what else? I know there's something else that I wanted to share. I know you guys are going to love. But let me make sure I'm getting all your questions answered. Okay, cool. Oh, yes. Thank you, Linda, for this question. When your hands get warm or your hands get hot and thins out your icing, what's the best way to stop this is you can keep your icing maybe in the fridge and then bring it out to pipe. Also, not filling your bag too full. So if you have your bag super, super full, then it's going to be against your hand longer before all that icing comes out of the bag, right? If you have maybe smaller bags of icing, then there's not going to be as much time for the heat of your hand to affect the icing. Those are a couple things you can do. Yeah, so those should help. And all right, in DIY kits, what consistency do you make your icing? I always do it thicker. So I do 1 to 2 steps thicker in my DIY kits. And then I usually have in my instructions, letting people know, hey, it's normal for it to separate. Make sure that you massage the bag before you cut the bag and use it. So yeah, I typically do just thicker. Because by the time they get it and by the time they use it, it's going to be thinned out. And yeah. Diane, great question. It's not colored before reaching the desired consistency. Okay, so great question. I specifically didn't color this because I didn't even think about it. And I thought, I'm just showing you the consistencies. No, you would color it before you start thinning it out. Great question. Thank you. So if you are coloring your icing to a specific consistency, add your gel color first, get it to the color you want, and then thin it out. All right. Does placing bag on a freezer pack while working? Yeah, that can help. Here's the thing is, once it gets to room temperature on your cookie, then like the consistency of your icing is going to be the same. But it can help. I wouldn't let it get like super chilled on the freezer bag, but it can help kind of cool it back down to more of a room temperature, slightly cooler, and then you can pick it up and use it again. Yeah. Great, great, great. Do you add corn syrup to your icing? Yes, I do. I do. Corn syrup is a little bit of magic in your royal icing. It does help with flow. It helps with it just helps with the overall makeup of your icing too. Okay. Wonderful. How can we get a copy of the cheat sheet you're using? Oh, yeah. So it's free for you. So you can find that either if you're watching from either Born to Bake group, if you're watching from a Rockstar group or Dough Maker group, wherever you're watching from, there should be a link. Well, let's see. If you're in a group, then at the top of the group, there are tabs for different resources and files and things. You can grab it there. We also have it posted, I believe, on our socials. It's posted in a lot of different spots. So I think there's some links shared in the comments too. So check those. If you still can't find it, please DM us or message us and we'll get that to you. It's super handy. Yeah. Oh, love it. CookieCon. I know CookieCon's coming up. It's so fun. I am not going to be there. It actually ended up overlapping with some other travel and event plans that we had. I'm hoping to make it next year. It's been a couple years since I've been. So for those of you who are going to CookieCon, though, have so much fun, have the best time. I know there are other Lollies cookiers going too. So make sure you hit up our groups and you can find other Lollies cookiers who are going as well. That'd be so fun. And promise me, if any of you Lollies cookiers meet up at CookieCon, take a picture and share it. I would love to see it. Okay. Let's see. Gail, okay. For those of you that might have questions about your membership, make sure that you message us. We have a help desk and you can message service to see if your account auto renews. But you also can log in and view that and take care of your renewal that way too. What? Oh, I already answered that one. DIY kits. All right. One last one here. Can you talk about letting the color develop and the consistency? Does the consistency change? Great question, Kathy. Letting color develop. I've never noticed it significantly affect the consistency because, I mean, you're adding your color first, right? And then letting it develop and then thinning it out. The only other time that I add water at the same time I add my color is deep, rich colors like a red. If I know that the consistency I need is thinner, right? If I need like a flood consistency of a red, the extra moisture helps the color develop faster. Otherwise, no. I mean, there's not a significant change in the consistency if you let your icing sit and develop. Because if your icing isn't developing within like 30 minutes, then there's something up with your ratios. There's something up. Like you shouldn't need to let your icing sit for hours and hours and hours or overnight or 24, 48 hours for it to develop, like before you actually use it on your cookie. Can something like a nice rich red deepen even more overnight? Yeah, it can, but then you've lost. I'm getting real detailed, so feel free to come back and rewatch this. But I've done that before where I've mixed up a really nice rich red and I've let it develop 20 minutes. It's the vibrancy I need to put on the cookies. Then I'm done. I let that icing bag sit on my counter overnight. I see it in the morning and it looks even richer and deeper. And I'm like, oh, well, that's like a really gem color. That's amazing. But it's also separated. So you start to lose your consistency the longer you let it sit and develop. Maybe that's what you were getting at. So I just had an aha. I just had a gem moment, everyone. Okay. So I hope that helps you when it comes to letting your color develop. Okay. Michelle. Okay. I'm going to answer this last question and then we have one more giveaway. We can't forget that one. Okay. How do you get that beautiful puff we want on some cookies? Great question. You want to make sure that your icing is not too thin, and my recipe calls for an extra little bit of meringue powder for a reason. I like to have my icing substantial enough where I don't have to use crazy techniques to get that puff. Like, I know you all have seen cookies online and you see people like, jamming a scribe into the flood layer, or they're doing all these weird squiggles and stuff. And I've done them sometimes too, as I look at those as an insurance policy to get a puff that doesn't crater. Because if your icing that you mix up has integrity, then it's not going to crater, okay? Because it has enough substance in it after the moisture evaporates. The only time you get in trouble with that, though, like you can have a really great batch. If you add too much water and it's really thin, don't expect to have a puffy look to it, okay? That puffy look comes in right around here, thick flood or like super thick flood, right, is going to lend itself to staying nice and puffy even when it dries. So a couple of tricks there for the puffiness. If you want to dig in more to that puffy look and you're still having trouble with craters, I do have some other resources. I think I've got a couple of YouTube episodes that touch on that. I know we've got some things in our Cookie Flix. So inside our membership, there's Cookie Flix. It's like the Netflix of cookies, I call it, that has some extra tutorials on that. And Puff, I also have some classes that teach how to get that really puffy flood, kind of foolproof. It can take some practice though. Okay, I hope that helps. Oh my gosh, thank you all for being on with me tonight. I hope this has helped you learn something new or give you a little bit more confidence when it comes to your icing consistencies. So yeah, make sure that you get a hold of this cheat sheet. And it is something, if you have other cookie friends, share it with them too. I just want you to have success with it because I know how frustrating it can be. And I want you to, I mean, this is where it all is, right? You have the right consistency, you can decorate anything. You can just take this, like it's steps to decorate a design as long as you have your consistencies good and you're comfortable with them, right? Okay. A couple of last things. If you want to stick around for this, okay, I'm going to do the giveaway. And then I'm going to share some things that I've been working on. Some of you might be interested in this or not, okay? Like it might not be for everybody. I'm going to do the giveaway. If you want to hear what I've been up to and some other things that are coming, stick around. If you need to go after this, totally understand. All right. I'm not even, I don't need to spin it. The last one is the towel. Okay. The winner now. This last winner, you're going to get a Lolly's towel. We have a pink one. Oh, here. This is my one I've been using, so it's not like, okay. This is it's a little dirty. It's got some icing on it, but we have our pink or our lavender one. So you can choose your color. Paula Martin, congratulations, Paula. You are our last winner for tonight. Please message us and let us know which color towel you would like, and we will get that out to you. Thank you all so much for being on tonight. If you need to go, I know it's been a little bit, so I'm gonna share a couple of things that I've been working on that I think are really cool. We have some new collabs that are coming. If you've been with us since maybe earlier this year, I have started a series where I'm digging into like food allergies and food sensitivities. So providing some classes on those. We've done gluten-free, we've done dye-free. I'm currently working on sugar-free. It's taking me a lot longer than I wanted, but we're working on sugar-free. And some new collaborations with some other instructors who are going to be coming into our Royal Kitchen crew and teaching some classes too. So I also have been really wanting to hone more in on certain skills, right? So a lot of our classes teach specific design, right? They're a themed design set where you learn skills along the way. I want to know what you all think of this, right? I'm actually looking for your feedback on this. So all you Lolly's insiders, if you're here still, then I want your feedback because I want to provide the kinds of skills and content that is helpful for you in the place that you're at with cookies. And I would really love to focus on specific skills. We have our June class is heavy on the airbrushing. It's not been, well, how much can I say about our June class? We have our Cookie Camp Jamboree happening this month too. So our June class is being released inside our membership only right now, but it's heavy on airbrushing. There's like lettering. We did one of my recent classes heavy on the lettering specific skills. Do you all want more of that? Please let me know. Or do you want more of the themed decorating? Do you want like a specific theme? We can do that too. I just would love to know from you all what you're specifically looking for right now, over the next like 6 months. Okay, so that is a question that I wanted to ask you all and let you in on some of the things that I'm working on. Let's see. What else? Oh, recipes, recipe flavors. Make sure you check out my email that goes out. Well, when does that one go out? Do you all get my like letters from Lolly? I love writing them, and they're like a little piece of my heart that I share with you. So if you're not currently getting those emails, make sure that you check them out. I send them out on Fridays. But I get a lot of inspiration for cookie flavors, but like I love other ideas too. Sometimes my kids will come to me with, "Mom, this would make a really good cookie flavor, like cotton candy, chocolate, whatever, something," right? Like it sounds good to them. I want to hear from you all what flavors or like, I guess, cookie flavors are you interested in? Check out my Lolly's cookie shop or the recipe shop first to see what's already there. Like some of your preferences might already be in there, but if there's anything not there that you're like, oh my gosh, Lolly, this flavor would be amazing. Or I'm into gourmet flavors too. I'm a total foodie. I know that some of my gourmet flavors maybe don't sit with everybody. So we have everything from like, pretty streamlined strawberry and a bit chocolate chip and, some of the more widely loved ones, but I love a good, cardamom, gosh, a rose water. I've been working on like a rose flavored icing and cookie. So anyway, again, I told y'all I can talk cookies all day. Please let me know. You can either put it in the comments here, you can message me. I really want to hear from you all. What kind of flavors like sound good to you? So yeah, okay. I see a lot of comments coming in. Let me see here. Orange blossom water. That is crazy, Jeannie. Is it Jean or Jeannie? That has been on my list. Orange blossom something has been on my list. So I'm so glad that you shared that. Yeah, it's like this really delicate flavor, turtle flavor. Oh, Brandy, I love it. Okay, yes, theme. Okay, theme decorating. Love it. Okay. Oh, Carol, I'm so glad. Okay, Carol's taking Laura Moffat's class at CookieCon. Laura, it was one of my instructors inside our, what is it? It was one of our winter classes. She teaches the silkscreen stenciling. She's phenomenal, and she has so much good information. She's teaching at CookieCon too, so that's awesome. Rhubarb, yes. S'mores. We do have a s'mores cookie. Pecan pie. Okay. Pecans. Do y'all know something about me? I don't create a lot of stuff with nuts because I'm not a huge fan of nuts, and the older I get, the more I appreciate the flavor of nuts, different nuts. But thank you for sharing that. Now I know that y'all want that. Okay. Cardamom. So cardamom that has been one that's been in the works. It's not finished yet. But so good to hear, Susie. You're up for cardamom too. Peach cobbler. Yes. What is a peach? I have one that has peach in it. I can't remember if it's peach by itself or if it's like a mix. Okay, that's another question I have. Do you all love like one solid flavor, or do you like the combination of stuff? Sometimes I can't help but add like, cream salted caramel something, Oh, wonderful. Let's see. Oh, the sugar cookie recipe with ube. Is it ube flavoring? Oh my gosh, so cool. So cool. Yes, peach Melba is what we have. Pistachio. Oh, I have something with pistachios. It's more of like a holiday flavor. It's got the cherries and pistachios, but yeah, something else pistachio could be really cool. Oh, I love this. Thank you so much, everybody. Keep them coming. If you're watching the replay, please comment too. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I love, yes, pink champagne, Ada. Pink champagne has been a really popular one. Diana, caramel apple cookie. Oh, you're making me crave. It's making me feel like fall. I love that. Apple fritter, honey, lavender. It's with lavender. I believe it's lavender with honey. That one I may need to revisit that one though. And it might not be in the shop right now. Thank you, Paula. That's a good reminder. Okay. What else? We do the recipe right now, newly released. If you're one of our Royal Kitchen Crew members, is chocolate dipped potato chip. So getting some real sweet and salty going on. So that's exciting. And I know that a lot of you want the recipes that we're releasing inside the membership. Please make sure that you are on the list when we reopen the doors to that. I am planning to reopen doors soon. We are in planning stages of that to get everything ready to be able to open doors for that. So yeah, exciting, amazing. All right. Thank you for your feedback. If there's any other comments or suggestions you have about either classes, the skills, specific skills that you want to see, if you are more of wanting the theme decorated classes, what themes are you looking for? There's so many to choose from, but I would love to hear what themed cookies would you make, would help you, that you would take to an event, or that maybe your customers are interested in, or something. If you're selling your cookies, that'll be helpful to me, and I want to be able to deliver what you want and what would help you. Wonderful. Okay, thank you all for being on, and again, thank you to all of those of you who have been in our Lollies community since Cookie Camp launched. It's so crazy to think. It feels like so long ago, and I've met so many incredible cookiers and all of you who come into my life because of Cookie Camp. So we're celebrating that this month. Welcome to all of you who are new or are new-ish. Keep an eye out for all of your messages from me about all the celebration for this month, and I will see you soon. We'll see you on our next live, and thank you for being here tonight. Bye, everybody. Did you give our last giveaway? Yes, we did. Okay. Just had to make sure. More giveaways next time. Bye, everybody.